Now on CoastTV News.
A chilly and dry start to our Wednesday, but it gets windy today and mild with highs in the 50s expected. Then up and down temperatures the next few days with rain expected Friday. I'll have the details coming up.
Fears over Trump's deportation plans, how homeless programs on the coast are working to protect the people they serve. And making everyone's ride a little smoother, why drivers say Route 16 is in need of attention, and what it's going to take for DelDOT to get involved. Helping the men and women who served our country, we take a look at a bill in Delaware aimed to create a state department focused on veterans.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning and welcome to CoastTV News Today. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 6 o'clock hour. And First Alert meteorologist Bob Trey, he is going to join us now. And Bob, today it's a good Wednesday, 55 degrees, a little windy, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
I think we'll all take it, Elisa, after, oh boy, what a rough January it's been with snow. And all that snow is beginning to melt, just pretty much piles now, because we've been seeing milder temperatures and we're still melting snow out there now. Look at the temperatures in the 40s all across the board. 45 Bethany Beach, 44 in Georgetown, Milton right now at 43 degrees, and we're looking at a southwesterly breeze that's getting pretty strong now. Sustained winds 21 miles per hour in Salisbury, and we're gusting even higher than that in places, and those winds will really ramp up today as we're looking at mainly clear skies. We had a warm front lifting to the north last night, and that continues to move into New England, so we're in some warmer air right now, but there's a cold front back toward north and west, and that will sweep in later today. But ahead of that, it will warm up. We're looking at 40s throughout the morning, and then by noon, look at this, into the mid-50s and around 55 in Millsboro, 57 Selbyville and Delmar, with that very strong winds up to about 40 miles per hour, and then temperatures do start to cool down through this evening. Drivecast, I gave it the green light this morning, breezy and mild, yellow light for the strong winds this afternoon and this evening. Two hands on the wheel, those winds gusting to 40 miles per hour at times.
Thank you, Bob. Happening today, the Lewis Planning Commission will revisit plans for the Overfall Preserve project. That project, located right off of Savannah Road, would include 90 residential units and amenities on 12 acres, connecting with Dutchman's Harvest. That's an affordable housing project under construction. However, current plans show no direct access to Kings Highway, which commissioners have said could worsen congestion on Savannah Road. That Planning Commission meeting is today at 11 a.m. And new this morning, Worcester County officials are attempting to move forward with upgrade plans for the Mystic Harbor wastewater treatment plant in West Ocean City. The county officials are expected to put out a bid for that project, and the council says the treatment plant is experiencing ongoing issues relating to processing and the management of biosolids. The project calls for 2 sludge holding tanks to be built. And a new bill is moving forward to create a state department focused on veterans. The Delaware Department of Veterans Affairs would support the state's 70,000 veterans with a veteran leading the department. The goal is to improve veterans' health care, benefits, and federal advocacy. That bill now heads to the House Appropriations Committee after passing the Veterans Affairs Committee. And new this morning and also happening today, a controversial bill is the focus of a hearing in Dover. The House Health and Human Development Committee will look at House Bill 140, also known as the Delaware End-of-Life Options Act. It would give terminally ill Delawareans the choice to end their lives with the help from a doctor. The bill's sponsors say the bill includes safeguards like requiring 2 witnesses and a mental health evaluation. But this idea has faced years of roadblocks. Last session, then Governor Carney vetoed it in September, saying there wasn't enough consensus about the medical aid in dying. However, in a Facebook post after the veto, now Governor Meyer said, quote, "Everyone deserves the right to a compassionate and humane end of life's journey when faced with a terminal illness." And Route 16 in Milton is needing some fixes, and DelDOT is ready to make those roads safer for drivers. Since our last update, DelDOT is discussing using recommendations from public and how the growing population is increasing the need for better roads. One person who lives in Milton says these roads are just plain dangerous at this point.
You're driving along this, somebody's going to cut out in front of you. So if you don't go across coastal much, you just go down. Somebody's going to cut in front of you because they think they can make it. So I'm willing to pay a little bit to maybe not die on that road.
And DelDOT is looking to fix about every road, but it may take a little while before they can get all of this done. And here's just a bit of background on the Coastal Corridors project. DelDOT says during late 2020 and early 2021, The study team collected roadway and traffic data from the area, including the amount of traffic, movement patterns, and crash data. The agency says findings pointed to more immediate attention, but was needed to the east of Route 113. While the western portion presented the opportunity to proceed with a longer-range planning approach, including monitoring changes in population, jobs, and related traffic in both Delaware and across the Maryland border. And President Trump is following through with his plans to deport illegal immigrants, and organizations on the coast that help the homeless are making sure people have their proper identification. Homeless programs across the state were contacted by the Housing Alliance of Delaware with a number of resources, including lists of constitutional rights on one side of a card and what to say in case someone is approached by ICE on the other. Trish Hill at the Pallet Village in Georgetown says everyone at that village was notified about the possibility of ICE showing up, and now that it is no longer a protected area. But she says there is no need to worry anymore.
So much of our community here in Georgetown has worked to do the proper thing with immigration, to get their papers, out in Kimmytown and other parts of the area. They're doing it the correct way, and this is not something that we should have a community uproaring panic about, because as a community, we're pulling together and doing the things we need to do.
We spoke with the mayor and the town manager, who both say neither of them, along with the Georgetown police chief, are aware of ICE agents in the town. Getting IDs and handing out this card are just safety measures. And we're now going to move over to Easton, where U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents made recent arrests in Talbot County. Details are limited, but according to the Easton Police, the arrest was made January 23rd on Glenwood Avenue, but did not take place at the nearby Easton Elementary School. ICE made the arrest on outstanding warrants on multiple charges, as well as a deportation order, according to authorities. And this is now going to bring us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, what should the community's main focus be for the homeless? And about 51% say job training, 41% say stable housing, and 8% say access to IDs. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so on CoastTV.com or on our mobile app. We are now taking a live look at the White House, and the Trump administration is offering federal workers a deal: quit and get a severance package. This after a late afternoon reprieve for any organization receiving federal funding after a federal judge put a pause on President Trump's latest order to temporarily stop federal assistance. Lawmakers are now weighing in as the Senate prepares to hear testimony from the president's controversial pick to head the Department of Health and Human Services, Robert Kennedy Jr. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how his executive orders are shaking out.
This morning, more than 2 million federal workers facing a choice: take a newly offered severance package or accept Trump administration requirements, including returning to work in the office. A senior administration official telling NBC News they expect up to 10% to quit, leading to around $100 billion in savings. Some Democrats pushing back on the president's move.
He doesn't have any authority to do this. Do not be fooled by this guy. You were here before he was here, and you'll be here after he was here.
A judge hitting a week-long pause on a separate order freezing federal grants and loans after nonprofit groups, 22 states and Washington, D.C., all sued the Trump administration, citing constitutional provisions that Congress, not the president, sets federal spending. The White House press secretary saying the freeze is aimed at federal aid that might run counter to President Trump's executive orders and is not a blanket pause on all assistance.
Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause.
Organizations like Meals on Wheels that delivers meals to seniors confused and concerned.
It's not considered a direct federal assistance program like Social Security or Medicare would be. So we're concerned.
It all comes as President Trump is pressing ahead on immigration enforcement and rounding out his cabinet picks. Today, a confirmation hearing begins for his controversial choice to head the Department of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And Delaware Senator Chris Coons says he's reached out to Governor Matt Meyer, Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, Congresswoman Sarah McBride, and The Delaware Department of Justice about Trump's federal funding freeze, saying, quote, Delawareans are concerned about what this means for their families. And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today. Coming up, Delaware farmers markets break records. We'll tell you how much the businesses brought in last year and when that season is expected to start up again. And potential paid parking in Lewis will tell you what one local thinks about the costly change along the coast. And important ice training will tell you why the Lewis Fire Department says the temperature can lead people to underestimate the ice, sparking a rescue. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Taylor Swift entering the professional football world was massive.
It's been a perfect storm. Viewership is money.
It instantly created this sense of FOMO for everyone.
The Swift Effect, Episode 2, The Swift Effect on the NFL. This Saturday at noon on Coast TV. Sponsored locally on Coast TV by Pohanka Kia. Come experience the Pohanka difference.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by Granite Stone. Now make the world's most delicious pizza with real stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies in under 6 minutes. You can get your Paisano pizza oven for just 3 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free.
Call 1-800-608-5198 or order online at buypaisano.com.
On August 1st of 1924, my great-grandfather, Samuel E. Shockley, met in Willards with a small group of men to determine the advisability of opening a bank in Willards, Maryland.
Put yourself in their shoes. A train comes through town, there's horses and buggies, and the only way that they could allocate capital through this area of Wicomico County was to build a bank. It's an audacious goal.
They wanted to build a bank that could be used by the common man. So they met in the summer of 1924, and then by January they were ready to open the doors of the bank.
It's really rewarding to hear the stories of a customer who comes in and says, you know, your grandfather gave me my first loan.
Banking will always be about people. It will not be about machines, computers, cell phones. So as we move forward into the future of the Farmers Bank of Willards, we always have to remember that people come first.
Coming up on 6:13 on this Wednesday morning, here's our HSB cam starting to melt the ice in the marina in Cambridge, 43 degrees there. And we're in the 40s elsewhere, showing 37 in Ocean Pines. That might be running a little cold, but we are well above freezing. And look at these winds really starting to pick up, sustained at least 20 miles per hour in Salisbury and Georgetown, and they're gusting at least to 22 in Georgetown. So it's going to be a breezy to windy day as we're looking at mainly clear skies now. We had a warm front lift to the north, and then a cold front will swing in later. But before then, we will warm up. I'd go with the large coffee today and hang on to the steering wheel. Windy and mild and a high of 55.
Thank you, Bob. The Delaware State Fire Marshal will continue to investigate the cause of a fire in Millsboro. According to the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company, a house fire broke out Monday afternoon on Carlos Lane. Crews found heavy smoke and flames with the fire spreading to the attic and the roof. Firefighters worked to suppress that fire and there were no injuries. And the Lewis Fire Department spent Tuesday evening conducting an ice rescue training session. Take a look at your screen. This is on the Red Mill Pond, and firefighters say this is the time of year when ice rescues often happen as temperatures warm up and the ice is not as thick as people and animals think it is. And Spotify says it paid $10 billion to the music industry last year. That's about $1 billion more than streaming services paid out the previous year. And one caveat is artists don't necessarily see all of that money. Spotify pays music rights holders, which are usually record labels and publishers, and it's up to them to then distribute money to their musicians and songwriters. And coffee prices hit a new high this week. The increase came after President Trump said he would impose a 25% tariff on Colombia. The White House later paused that decision, but Colombia is the third largest coffee producing country in the world. And still ahead, potential paid parking in Lewis will tell you what areas the city is considering making a costly change.
And still pretty dark out there. Sun's up for about another hour or so. 45 in Lewis, Tunnel and Razor Cam. It's mild, it's getting breezy, and we're looking at a windy day on the way. It will be mild, then colder for Thursday. Up and down temperatures on the way, then some rain for Friday. I'll have your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station.
Capture your favorite moments at the CoastTV photo booth. Strike a pose and snap a pic, all for free. View previous pictures and see the next event at coasttv.com under the Features tab. The CoastTV photo booth, sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
These fields are empty now, but soon they'll be alive.
Some teams can only dream to play it because they can't afford it. And that is why Toyota is sponsoring Delmarva's Dream Team.
We're looking for teams from any sport and any level. Each month, your Delmarva Toyota dealer will give one local team a $1,000 grant. And after the year, one finalist will receive an additional $3,000.
Nominate your dream team at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
DSN's Delmarva's Dream Team, sponsored by your local Toyota dealer.
What elevates life every day?
Accept it all.
Time with the people you love.
Yeah!
New Drew, new you.
Okay, ready?
These are the best days of our lives. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
The time is now 6:17 and we are taking a live look outside at Lewis this morning. And Bob, it's going to be a nice Wednesday, but I always wonder what the weekend's going to look like at this point. Saturday might be a good chance to stop inside at Georgetown. I think there's something you'll want to do there.
There is, Elisa. We've got the big job fair going on there. It's the Delaware Job Fair. Kicks off at 10 o'clock on Saturday at Delaware Technical Community College. And bring your resume because chances are you could probably get a good job there. We're looking at temperatures chilly in the 30s late morning and then only in the low to mid 40s into the afternoon, and a strong north-northwest wind making it feel colder at that time, so you want to bundle up. We'll be looking at up and down temperatures the next few days. 55 today, it's back to 46 Thursday, 57 on Friday, a rainy day, and then Saturday, as we just talked about, is chilly, 44, and then on Sunday we're looking at around 46 degrees on Groundhog Day. Temperatures now right around 46. We're in the low to mid 40s now. We're melting a lot of that snow still out there even at this hour as we're seeing southwesterly winds that are really picking up. Sustained 22 in Georgetown, 21 in Salisbury, and they're gusting even higher than that in some places too. So we're going to be looking at the winds picking up throughout the day, getting windy this afternoon. We're looking at mostly clear skies right now. We had a warm front lifting to the north overnight. That's why we're so mild. And along that warm front, it's snow across New England into the Great Lakes. But here comes another cold front through the Midwest, and that'll swing through a little bit later today. But ahead of it, it'll be a big warm up. And then we're looking at rain developing across Texas. That will be the system affecting us on Friday. So let's walk you through it on Futurecast. We're in the 40s this morning. And then afternoon, look at this, 12:30, mid 50s, but those winds really ramping up this afternoon, over 40 miles per hour. Then that front comes through later in the afternoon. Temperatures slide slide through the 40s. We'll see the winds diminishing overnight, and then temperatures do get chilly into the 30s. And then by tomorrow morning, much cooler with 20s and low 30s out the door. And then for your Thursday, we're looking at chillier conditions with temperatures in the mid 40s, maybe some 30s for some folks. It will be a colder afternoon, and then clouds increasing later on. So make sure you secure those outdoor items with those winds gusting nearly 40 miles per hour this afternoon. Then they do start to diminish as we go through the evening hours. I want to talk about Friday real quick because it looks like a soaker. It's just plain rain with this system. It'll be mild with temperatures in the 50s, and some of that rain could be a little heavier a little bit later in the day. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 50s today, 40s Thursday, rain Friday 57, and then the weekend, Saturday for the job fair, bundle up 44, Groundhog Day 46 degrees. We'll have to see what Punksy says. There's several groundhogs, but we don't believe them anyway, right, Elise? Right? 58 Monday, 45 on Tuesday. Hopefully not too much winter left.
Thank you, Bob. Well, a trip to the beach in Lewis could cost you a little bit more in spaces that have been free in the past. That's those non-metered streets. The city is now looking to create a paid permit system. The city is proposing a $100 fee for permits for locals and a $250 fee for out-of-state visitors.
We need to have some control factor that we have not had in the past. But I think that the residents who permanently live here should get a break on the cost if they decide that's what they're going to do versus people coming in just to visit.
And the city is also eyeing increases for those metered rates in the beach lots. And up next on Coast TV News today, Delaware farmers markets are breaking records. We'll tell you how much money and support our local businesses earned last season compared to 2023. Don't go anywhere.
NBC News Daily, weekdays at 1 on Coast TV.
Find your next job at the Delmarva Job Fair, sponsored by the Stokely Center and the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. Join us Saturday, February 1st from 10 to 2 at Delaware Tech in Georgetown. Employers in healthcare, construction, retail, and more. Plus, the Delaware Department of Labor will also be on site for resume tips and advice to help you stand out. Take the next step in your career at this one-day hiring event. Learn more at WBOCevents.com.
It matters late at night. It matters when you aren't sure and need someone who is.
It matters when times are tight and saving money can really make a difference.
Thanks so much, I really appreciate you. Hi, Alex. Where you get your medicine has never mattered more. That's why we have more locations than any other pharmacy, with pharmacists you get to know right in your neighborhood. Where you get your medicine matters.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com now.
According to the Delaware Department of Agriculture, last year's farmers markets hit an all-time high with sales at $4.6 million. That was for all 20 Delaware community-run farmers markets, beating the previous record from 2023. And if that has you ready to get out and shop local, the 2025 market season will begin in May, with most markets open by the end of June. On your screen right now is Georgetown Town Manager Dean Dvornik, and according to Georgetown, the Delaware League of Local Government awarded him as the 2024 Town Manager of the Year. And new this morning, the Ocean City Police Department is celebrating one of their canines who is now headed for retirement. On your screen right now is a video shared by the agency highlighting Canine Smoke. The department says Canine Smoke will be retiring at the beginning of May. And employees at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention have been told to stop communicating with the World Health Organization. The directive is in accordance with President Trump's January 20th executive order, withdrawing the U.S. from the WHO. The U.S. is one of the largest organization's funders. And Robert F. Kennedy, President Trump's controversial pick to lead the U.S. Department of Human and Health Services, faces Congress with his confirmation hearings this week. It comes as a new poll shows how views come when it comes to trusting Trump and Kennedy on health issues. When it comes to vaccines, a survey shows the vast majority of U.S. adults still believe the benefits of vaccines outweigh the risks. And a popular injectable for diabetes has now been approved to treat kidney disease. Ozempic's drug maker announced the Food and Drug Administration has approved the drug to treat patients with both type 2 diabetes and chronic kidney disease. A clinical trial found that injections of the medication reduce the risk of kidney disease from getting worse. We're now going to bring in Bob to get a little bit of a look at our forecast if you're looking to maybe head for a walk on the boardwalk as that snow is starting to melt. Today might be a good day to do so.
It would be. You have to hang on, though, because it's going to be windy out there. And if you're a boater, we've got a gale warning until Wednesday evening. Delaware Bay and the Atlantic Ocean and the inland bays, too. Chincoteague and Assateague, I think you'll be topping out in the low 50s, but it'll be feeling a lot cooler because we're looking at the strong winds. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, 40s to 50s for you. On the bay side, 50s today for Cambridge, 40s tomorrow, then a rainy Friday. And Crisfield, you're at 54 today, 44 Thursday, but then rainy on Friday. Then it clears out for the weekend. Much more in your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
After the break on Coast TV News today, federal workers on the line will tell you the big choice they face that could impact their careers in the future. And Route 16 Safety Solutions will tell you what solutions from the community Delta is considering for one important highway in Sussex County. An Aid in Dying bill discussion will tell you both the for and against a controversial bill set for a hearing today.
Taylor Swift entering the professional football world was massive.
It's been a perfect storm. Viewership is money.
It instantly created this sense of FOMO for everyone.
The Swift Effect, Episode 2, The Swift Effect on the NFL. This Saturday at noon on Coast TV. Sponsored locally on Coast TV by Pohanka Kia. Come experience the Pohanka difference.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby Horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
Now on Coast TV News.
A chilly and dry start to our Wednesday, but it gets windy today and mild with 50s expected this afternoon. Then up and down temperatures next few days with rain expected Friday. I'll have the details coming up.
Improving roads on the coast, why drivers say efforts to fix Route 16 are needed sooner rather than later. And giving back to veterans, that's the goal of the bill now moving forward in Delaware that aims to improve health care, benefits, and federal advocacy. And plans to bring more townhomes to Savannah Road in Lewis, but why the site plan has raised concerns among city officials.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning and welcome to Coast TV News Today. I'm Elisa Weber and thank you so much for joining us in our final half hour. Well, it is Wednesday and good news on a Wednesday is having a nice sunny, warmer day, and that's exactly what we're going to get today. So we're going to bring in Bob to tell us a little bit more about that weather today. It's a good day just to be outside.
It really will be. Aside from the wind, just about a perfect day, but it will be a windy one, Lisa, and we're going to see a lot of that snow going bye-bye today because we're already starting well above freezing. 43 in Salisbury, Redden 43, Bethany Beach and Rehoboth both at 45. Now, the winds are a factor. They're getting pretty strong in places like Georgetown, Salisbury, Indian River Inlet, about 15 to 20 miles per hour, gusting over 20, and it'll be getting gusty as we go through the day. We're looking at mostly clear skies, so good visibility. You just have to have two hands on the wheel. We had a warm front move through earlier on. That's now moving to the north. There's a cold front across the Great Lakes. That'll swing through later today. So we're seeing temperatures quickly warming through the 40s this morning by noon. It gets really windy. 54 in Millsboro, 54 in Delmar, up to 57 in Selbyville. Those winds gusting nearly 40 miles per hour. Then that front comes through. We'll start to cool things off as we go into the evening. I know Elise is a big runner. If you're running today, run to the east because it's going to be blowing hard from the west and southwest, gusts to 40 miles per hour. At least it's sunny into the afternoon, and by noon, 55 degrees.
That sounds great, Bob. Well, new this morning, Worcester County officials are attempting to move forward with upgrade plans for the Mystic Harbor wastewater treatment plant in West Ocean City. The county officials are expected to put out a bid for that project, and the council says the treatment plant is experiencing ongoing issues relating to processing and the management of biosolids. The project calls for 2 sludge holding tanks to be built. And happening today, the Lewis Planning Commission will revisit plans for the Overfall Preserve project. That project, right off of Savannah Road, would include 90 residential units and amenities on 12 acres connecting to the Dutchman's Harvest. That's an affordable housing project already under construction. However, current plans show no direct access to Kings Highway, which commissioners have said could worsen congestion on Savannah Road. That Planning Commission meeting is today at 11 a.m. And new this morning and happening today, a controversial bill is the focus of a hearing in Dover. The House Human Health Development Committee will look at House Bill 140, also known as the Delaware End-of-Life Options Act. It would give terminally ill Delawareans the choice to end their lives with the help from a doctor. The bill's sponsors say the bill includes safeguards like requiring 2 witnesses and a mental health evaluation. But this idea has faced years of roadblocks. Last session, then Governor Carney vetoed it in September, saying there wasn't enough consensus about the medical aid in dying. However, in a Facebook post after the veto, now Governor Matt Meyer said, quote, "Everyone deserves the right to a compassionate and humane end of life's journey when faced with a terminal illness." A new bill is moving forward to create a state department focused on veterans. The Delaware Department of Veterans Affairs would support the state's 70,000 veterans, with a veteran leading the department. The goal is to improve veterans' health care, benefits, and federal advocacy. That bill will now head to the House Appropriations Committee after passing the Veterans Affairs Committee. And whether you call it Route 16, the Milton-Ellendale Highway, or Broadkill Road, a lot of people seem to be calling it a mess, which is why the state is exploring multiple options to calm down traffic and make things safer there. On Tuesday, DelDOT discussed community input on how to make that area safer, but there's a long way before any changes become a reality.
Driving from east to west in Sussex County likely means a trip on Route 16 through Milton and Georgetown. But some drivers say they'd rather take a detour.
Everybody's going 60 miles an hour. Just do the math, and it ends up with a lot of dead people, which is why our accident rate's incredibly high compared to our population.
DelDOT held a meeting Tuesday afternoon to discuss potential changes for Route 16, like the reconstruction and repaving of the roads, or more stoplights to make things safer. But Jeff Davis, who travels down Route 16 frequently, thinks this is just one of too many projects on the table.
They're 10, 15 years behind schedule. They should have been done way before all the development came in and all that stuff, that they would have been not having as much problem that they do.
Like I said, Del Dot was showing pictures and graphics to people that were in attendance at the meeting, but let me show you what it looks like in real life. Right here we have a stoplight sign on its side, not supposed to be that way. If you follow me a little bit further down over here, you can see these electrical wires are a little worse for the wear, and that's why Del Dot is working as hard as they can and having all these meetings to make sure these fixes are made as soon as they possibly can. Del Dot with a lot of projects on their plate right now, so it might be a little bit of time before any big changes are made or even seen, but the goal is to make these roads as safe and easy to travel through as possible. For Coast TV News, I'm Brendan Conroy.
And this is a part of Del Dot's Coastal Corridor study. The study also focuses on the intersection of US 9 and State Route 5. According to Del Dot, that is the most congested road in the area, and the department says by 2050 it might need extra lanes. And we're now going to take a live look outside at the White House, and the Trump administration is offering federal workers a deal: quit and get a severance package. This morning, more than 2 million federal workers are facing a choice: taking a newly offered severance package or accepting the Trump administration's requirements. This would include returning to work in the office. A senior administrator official told NBC News they expect up to 10% to quit, leading to around $100 billion in savings. However, some lawmakers are pushing back.
He doesn't have any authority to do this. Do not be fooled by this guy. You were here before he was here, and you'll be here after he was here.
The American Federation of Government Employees is warning what it calls a civil servant purge could mean chaos for Americans, depending on functioning federal government, though the offer excludes members of the military, postal service, immigration enforcement, and national security. And new this morning, Delaware Senator Chris Coons says he's reached out to the governor, Matt Meyer, Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, Congresswoman Sarah McBride, and the Delaware Department of Justice about Trump's federal funding freeze, saying, quote, Delawareans are concerned about what this means for their families. And we have a lot more news to get to, so don't go anywhere. Coming up, the recent executive order for a federal funding freeze could have impacts here in Delmarva. We'll tell you how it would create a problem for the Salisbury Airport if this order goes through. And Seaford hopes to keep its win streak. We'll show you their battle against Lake Forest in boys basketball. But first, egg prices skyrocket. We'll tell you what issue on Delmarva and across the country is leading to more money for that carton of eggs. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
We salute Chief Brian K. Calloway. Chief Calloway leads the Millsboro Police Department with a commitment to community safety and proactive policing. Under his guidance, Millsboro is celebrated for its safe environment for families and businesses, thanks to robust community support and dedicated police work. Chief Calloway emphasizes community-based policing and values strong partnerships with citizens to enhance the quality of life. He is dedicated to maintaining Millsboro as a safe and prosperous community.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empower children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by Coast TV.
Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by Granite Stone. Now make the world's most delicious pizza with real stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies in under 6 minutes. You can get your Paisano pizza oven for just 3 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free.
Call 1-800-608-5198 or order online at buypaisano.com.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
6:39 on this breezy and milder Wednesday morning. Here's our gutter helmet cam from Ocean View. 44 right now, and it's getting pretty breezy out there, and it's mild. Winds are out of the southwest. 43 in Delmar, 45 Bethany Beach, and Rehoboth right now at 45, and those winds are revving up from the southwest, sustained over 20 miles per hour in Salisbury back into Georgetown, and they will be getting gusty too, over 40 miles per hour a little bit later today. We're looking at mainly clear skies right now. We had a warm front lifting to the north earlier, and we'll have a cold front swing in later today, but before then it'll get pretty mild. Off to school for the kiddos, breezy and chilly. Still need that heavier jacket, 44. Then heading home, breezy and mild, 56. Lighter jacket at that time. Congratulations to our umbrella giveaway winner today. It's George Harlan from Georgetown. Congratulations to him from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. Well, this is bad news for egg lovers. You can expect to continue to pay higher prices for that breakfast staple. The high price is being driven by the ongoing bird flu outbreak as well as inflation. Government data shows the average price of a dozen eggs was $4.15 last month, but a price outlook from the USDA estimates egg prices will increase about 20% this year. And local restaurants, they're already feeling that pinch.
We're going to keep trying to absorb that as long as we can, but if they go up 200-300%, we may be having another conversation.
The USDA says bird flu has killed over 17 million egg-laying hens in November and December, and that is nearly half of all birds killed by the virus last year. More music is coming to Ocean City. Ocean City has just announced a new festival called the Rising Tides Festival. This is in honor of the town's 150th anniversary. It will take place on November 22nd at the Convention Center, and that festival will be celebrating music and culture from the past. And the full lineup will be announced on Friday, January 31st at 10 a.m.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning. Seaford boys basketball aiming for their 7th consecutive victory while taking on Lake Forest. Let's get to the action. Jumping into the fourth quarter, Blue Jays up 36-32. Lake Forest shot off the mark, but it's going to be Darius Miller grabbing the loose ball and slamming it down to put the Spartans within 2. But Seaford quick to respond. Swag Matthews finds Arion Purnell, who lays it in. Blue Jays up by 4. And from there, the home squad takes over. Off the inbound, Mikey Matthews with the perfect pass to Purnell again. Seaford rolling. Mikey to his favorite target, Purnell, and the Blue Jays go on to win 53-46, their 7th straight, while improving to 10-2 on the season. To Dover, girls basketball hosting Smyrna at Sarah Benson of Dover, floating in 2, finishing with 19 points on the night for the Senators. On the other side, Maya LRB knocking down the 3 for the Eagles right here. She dropped 16 total points in this game after quarter number 1. Smyrna led 13-12. But here comes Amani Sudler and the Senators, the sophomore, nailing the corner 3. The guard had every answer on the other side, scoring 15 total points as the Senators come out on top 50-49, winning on a free throw in overtime against the Smyrna Eagles. And Seaford defeated Lake Forest in girls basketball 57-23. The Blue Jays were led by Kiamara Kernish-Bain, who scored a game-high 20 points to go along with 12 rebounds, 6 steals, 2 assists, and a block. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 6 p.m., Parkside will face Kent Island on the wrestling mat. And then at 10:30, tune in to the final score. And for your DSN Plus exclusives, along with that game of the night we just mentioned, at 5:30, Cambridge South Dorchester will take on North Carolina in wrestling. Then another wrestling match at 5:30 between Snow Hill, Nandua, and Colonel Richardson. And at 7 p.m., a wrestling match between Smyrna and Polytech. Movie and streaming news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I don't believe in magic. Ghosts, demons, just power.
Here's your latest look at the vampire thriller Sinners. Michael B. Jordan reteams with his Black Panther and Creed director Ryan Coogler for the period horror flick, which descends on theaters April 18th.
There's a lot of issues that are worked through.
Kevin Kline has a new comedy series. He'll star in American Classic for MGM Plus as a narcissistic Broadway star who has a meltdown and retreats to his hometown, where he decides to stage a classic show at the local low-rent dinner theater.
At first I just sensed it, and then things moved.
The family in Presence buys a house that turns out to be haunted. Not a good look if you're their realtor. This Manhattan billboard promising to help find your forever home is the work of Neon, the distributor of Presence. The realtor is Julia Fox, who plays the family's realtor in the movie. It is a very nice house, if you don't mind sharing it. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Be sure to join us on Saturday for the Delmarva Job Fair. If you are looking for a job, there will be dozens of employers on site in the gym at Delaware Technical Community College in Georgetown. Bring your resume this Saturday, February 1st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and admission is free.
We're off to a mild and breezy start on this Wednesday, 45 in Lewis on the Tullin Razor Camp. We're seeing blue skies and it will be a windy day, gusts of 40 miles per hour and mild too, with 50s on the way. Then colder for Thursday, up and down temperatures the next few days, and then rain for Friday, but then improving for the weekend. Your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
See the beauty of Delmarva from a bird's eye view. Soaring over the shore, Mondays on CoastTV News at 6. Sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with socket fan.
You like to keep your beard perfectly groomed, but she hates all that mess. Now there's VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the total body shaver that trims your hair and vacuums it up. VacuTrim stainless steel blades give you a precision cut, while the built-in vacuum captures the hair shavings. It has 20 trim settings to shape your beard and tame body hair with no mess. Get VacuTrim with free shipping for only $39.95.
Call 1-800-263-0608. That's 1-800-263-0608 or go to vacutrim.com.
Michael Anderson of Anderson Wealth Management has the strategies you need to help plan your retirement. Catch Wise Money right here on WRDE.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
The weather is brought to you by Royal Plus. In disaster's wake, there's only one call to make.
It starts small, just a drip. But when tragedy strikes, it doesn't wait for you to be ready. Whether it's a natural disaster or an everyday life mishap. In disaster's wake, there's only one call to make: Royal Plus Disaster Cleanup. Visit us at royalplus.com to learn more.
The time is now 6:48 and we are taking a live look outside at Cambridge this morning. And Bob, I was hoping for a sunrise, but you know what? That is a beautiful view of the boats there. As we can see, clear skies, no snow is visible there on any of those boats, so that's a good sign. It's feeling more, I'd say, spring-like outside.
I think so, and no more ice, or it looks like diminishing ice in the marina there too, Lisa, as we're seeing temperatures in the 40s. And yes, we're not seeing the sunrise yet because the sun's coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. It's going to be a beautiful day, but it's going to be a windy day, and it'll be mild. We're looking at temperatures into the 50s, and then for your Thursday, chillier, colder with lighter winds. We're looking at up and down temperatures the next several days. 55 later today, chewing up more of that snowpack, then back to 46 Thursday, and then it's back to 57 on Friday. Then we head into the weekend, and it gets colder again, 44 Saturday, and then Sunday's high around 46. And that's where we are right now, pretty much in the low to mid 40s across the area. Ocean City 44, Bethany Beach 45, Georgetown is at 44, and those winds starting to pick up from the southwest, sustained winds at least 20 miles per hour in Georgetown and Salisbury, and they'll be getting pretty gusty as we go through the day and into the afternoon, gusting over 40 miles per hour times perhaps. We're looking at mainly clear skies, so good sky conditions, dry roads. We had a warm front lift to the north last night, now into New England and the northeast. That's where they're seeing some snow there with the Clipper system, and that's going to be dragging a cold front now making its way through the Midwest, eventually down into our neck of the woods later today. Kind of fizzling out, but it'll reinforce some cooler air for sure as we'll see these pockets of chillier air moving in. And then we have more moisture developing across the deep south around Texas with rain, and then that's going to be moving in here later Thursday into Friday. But first things first, here's Futurecast this morning, 10:30, already flirting with 50 degrees as those southwest winds are picking up. 55 in Millsboro, 54 in Georgetown around 12:30, and maybe some places upper 50s before we see a cool down later in the afternoon with that next front as the wind shift more to the northwest. And then through this evening, temperatures falling through the 40s and into the 30s. And by tomorrow morning, much colder into the 20s and 30s. Winds will be lighter tomorrow, and we'll see highs into the 40s. Then we'll see increasing clouds ahead of that next system. Winds 35, 36, maybe up to around 40 miles per hour into the afternoon, but then diminishing as we go through the overnight as that colder air builds in. But then we're seeing the rain building in Friday morning, and some of this rain could be heavy, could be a soaker, maybe at least a half an inch of rain, but it'll be mild with temperatures in the 50s. So all rain, and then that system moves out. We clear out for the weekend. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, up and down temperatures the next several days. Rain on Friday, 57, and then 40s into the weekend. Groundhog Days on Sunday. We'll have to see what that little guy says about the rest of winter and or spring. 58 Monday, back to 45, partly cloudy on Tuesday.
Thank you, Bob. Trump's recent federal funding freeze is having a local impact here in Delmarva, specifically in Wicomico County. Although the decision has been halted by a federal judge, if the White House moved to pause all federal grants and loans, it could hurt the Salisbury Airport. Back in October, the airport was awarded an $800,000 grant to help bring a new airline on board. But that money still has not made its way to the Eastern Shore. And while talks have an airline have been encouraging so far, local officials are worried this federal pause could change that.
New air service is risky, and these low-cost carriers know that. So they're going to go where the opportunities are, and if we scale back this opportunity here on the lower shore with our airport, the potential is we lose this new air carrier, and that would be economically detrimental to the region.
We did reach out to the Salisbury Airport for a comment, but we did not hear back. And a quick update for the Indian River School District's families. March 5th will now become a regular school day for students. The district says this day was originally a professional day just for staff, but due to recent amount of closures because of snow, March 5th will now be a makeup day. And the time is now 6:52, so we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pets of the day are two very happy dogs on your screen right now. Our two dogs that were submitted to us by a family in Milford. And as you can see, they are enjoying that snow. But as Bob mentioned, that snow is melting, but we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen, scan the QR code at the top of your screen, and submit your furry friend to Coast TV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. Coast TV will be right back.
Transform your backyard into an outdoor oasis at Woodland Sheds in Bishopville, Maryland. Explore 11 acres with over 100 Amish buildings and 7,000 pieces of Amish poly furniture. Walk through our Amish-built sheds, kennels, coops, garages, and even pool houses. Enjoy free shed delivery and rent-to-own sheds with no credit check. We also have portable storage units. Visit us at Woodland Sheds, Route 113, Bishopville.
Taylor Swift entering the professional football world was massive.
It's been a perfect storm.
Viewership is money. It instantly created this sense of FOMO for everyone.
The Swift Effect, Episode 2, The Swift Effect on the NFL. This Saturday at noon on CoastTV. Sponsored locally on CoastTV by Pohanka Kia. Come experience the Pohanka difference.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Is your cookware scratched inside and an eyesore on the outside? Introducing Gotham Steel Hammered Cream Cookware. Forged with an authentic hammered design, engineered with extremely strong titanium and tri-coated with ultra non-stick ceramic. Gotham Steel features double the non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without all the butter or oil. Get this huge 15-piece set for 4 payments of $49.99 with free shipping.
To order, call 1-800-513-6408.
The time is now 6:55, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Happening today, a controversial bill is back in the focus of a hearing in Dover. The House Health and Human Development Committee is going to look at House Bill 140, also known as the Delaware End-of-Life Options Act. It would give terminally ill Delawareans the choice to end their lives with the help from a doctor. There has been lawmaker support both for and against this bill. And the Lewis Fire Department spent Tuesday evening conducting an ice rescue training session. Take a look at your screen. That is the scene on Red Mill Pond. And firefighters say this is the time of year ice rescues often happen as temperatures warm up and the ice is not as thick as people and animals think it is. And the Delaware State Fire Marshal will continue to investigate the cause of a fire in Millsboro. According to the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company, a house fire broke out Monday afternoon on Carlos Lane. Crews found heavy smoke and flames, with the fire spreading to the attic and the roof. Firefighters worked to suppress that fire, and there were no injuries. According to the Delaware Department of Agriculture, last year's farmers market sales hit an all-time high at $4.6 million. This was for all 20 Delaware community-run farmers markets, beating the previous record from 2023. And if that is you ready to go out and shop local, the 2025 market season will begin in May, with most markets open by the end of June. And the time is now 6:56, so we're going to take a quick look at that forecast that we've been talking about, Bob. 55 degrees. I'm excited.
55, Elisa, yes. We are looking at mild temperatures this morning in the 40s, but then look at that by 2 o'clock, 56, but strong westerly winds gusting up to near 40 miles per hour at times, so secure those outdoor items. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We dipped to 46 on Thursday, and then it's rain on Friday, 57, 40s into the weekend. Groundhog Day on Sunday, 46. We'll have to see what that little rascally guy says about the rest of winter or spring. 58 on Monday, and then cooler Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Maybe another rain chance by next Friday.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today. The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m., and then we'll be back for Coast TV Midday. And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great morning.